What happened to Rich Homie Quan? Was it a setup?
Rich Homie
Quan, whose real name was DeQuantes Devontae Lamar, was due to perform in his hometown in a few weeks at Nick Cannon's Wild 'N Out. He was also going to testify in the trial of his former bandmate Young Thug.
Rich Homie Quan was scheduled to testify at the Young Thug trial later this year.
Now that there has been legitimate sources to confirm that Rich Homie Quan has in fact passed away, I will continue to go back to my statement from my previous video that if he really did OD from a pill, it was a setup. Somebody gave that to him. Somebody slipped him a bad pill on purpose. And you know who I think it is? I mean, you can guess before I say it. If you thought Young Thug, we're here with it. If you didn't see my last video, I truly believe Young Thug has something to do with it, because these YSL trials is going on. Woody brought his name up and brought up how his father got shot up at the barber, you know, all that. YSL has something to do with that. You know who's in YSL? Young Thug. Young Thug put that head out on that boy and made it look like a possible overdose. I don't know. I'm just a conspiracy theorist though. Like I said, don't shoot the messenger.
And another thing, when it comes to Rich Homie Quan, they're saying he passed over a drug OD. And and what I'm about to say is about to be in the most respectful way possible. He ain't just started taking drugs yesterday. He's been doing this for some decades, probably. What? How old is he? But you get what I'm saying. So how do you overdose on something you've been taking? It either was something being tampered with, or it was intentional, which I doubt it, by him. You get what I'm saying? Like he did it to himself. No, something he was laced. Yeah, cause there's no way he didn't OD. No, it was intentional. It was very much so intentional. And if you don't think that, like, this ain't his first rodeo when it comes to drugs, so something of another had to occur. It wasn't no accident.
Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan, but from my sources, it's not the accident that they saying. And it was this interview that may have cost Rich Homie Quan his life. And I don't like it. So if you haven't heard, Rich Homie Quan has been unalived by what they say allegedly an overdose, but they have no confirmation. So here it is, y'all. So if you know, Rich Homie Quan and Thug were really cool and made great music together back in the day, but then they fell out. Well, a lot of people don't know the exact reason why Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan fell out, and it was somewhat serious. And in this interview right here, Young Thug spoke on it. Now, in that interview, Young Thug said that him and Rich Homie Quan were always super cool until he did this one thing. And what happened was, he said Rich Homie Quan was performing and people kept grabbing his feet and grabbing his leg. And then eventually Rich Homie Quan said, hey, get off that stuff. I ain't on that GA, stuff. And he said, like, Thug, basically. So it was in this interview that Thug said he could never be cool with him again behind that. So now, fast forward, we got Woody on the stand talking about he is the one who pew-pewed up Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop or whoever it was. Now in this interview, which was done right the last couple days, Rich Homie Quan said Woody was a liar, and he said, niggas know. Basically saying somebody else did it, which could cause problems for Young Thug or have him come testify. Many speculate that Thug has something that did that, and that wasn't Woody on his own. So if you put it together, many speculate that they were concerned with what Rich Homie Quan was saying would cause them to want to speak to him or put him on the stand. And with Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug having their differences, it could be beneficial for Rich Homie Quan to go ahead and put Thug away. This story is still developing, but it stinks, y'all. Rest in peace, rich homie Quan. We're gonna figure this out.
What do you think happened? Please like, share, and subscribe.